one.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
What's going on? Welcome to another honest review um, with Flick Filter. I'm Big Diesel.
And I'm Coach. What we talking about today? What we talking about?
What
What
are
we
we
talking about
talking
today?
about?
What we talking about?
Well, today we're talking about. I don't know why I was going to say Killers of the Flower.
Highest to lowest. Highest to lowest. Yeah, yeah,
Womp womp.
yeah. So, how are we gonna begin? How are we gonna begin? Yes, yes, yes. Well,
Let's first start off with starting off with how hard this movie was to kind of find to I wasn't able to watch it, so we're definitely going to do interview style.
yes, this is an interview style review.
Um, yeah, I could not find a theater by me um, that I could go to that played this. Was only in the select few theaters.
Right?
Um,
Um, well, yeah. So it's in
and
a
it
decent.
wasn't well advertised.
It
I barely saw trailers, and if I did see a trailer, I don't remember it
Yeah, yeah. So
or know what it's about.
for some context, this is yeah. We didn't even get to what it's even about. Yeah, but
I know
yes, it is.
I'm trying
Oh
to
yeah.
transition.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm telling the people this. I'm not.
Yeah,
But yeah. So we yeah we had I personally was trying to find where this movie was going to be playing since I knew it was coming up, and I noticed it was not playing
he
at
really
any
was trying to see this movie.
AMC's. Yeah, yeah. This was one of my most
Yeah, anticipate.
anticipated
Yeah,
for
yeah.
this year. So
You can think why.
yeah, yeah. We're gonna go into that. But yeah,
And,
can't even.
God.
Come on, man. We gotta progress. There's a natural progression of things. So yeah, it wasn't playing at any AMC's, and that I'm like, man, that's where I be going. A-lister.
He
Anyway,
loves Nicole Kidman.
we
We
come
make movies better.
we come to a place, and we do. It's the theater. Anyway, it's not playing at any AMC's, at least in our area. So uh,
There
it's kind
was
of
an
crazy.
idea. I'm sorry. Oh, okay,
We're not doing this
go
today.
ahead. Go ahead.
We're not doing this.
It's,
Anyways,
it's been a long
it
day.
was playing I think at some Regals, some other ones, but yeah, no AMC's, and that's like the biggest theater chain. So yeah,
Is it
at
though?
least that I know of, I'm pretty sure the AMC is like the biggest one, or at least in terms of the most. It has the most theaters out there,
Yeah.
like across probably the country.
I think that's why they had that commercial. Probably why.
Probably. Anyway, we into the actual plot. So I did go see it.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Well, at least I'm gonna try not to spoil it because it
He's
is.
a big spoiler.
That's not true. I spoil myself
Okay.
more than anyone. Anyway,
That makes you a spoiler.
let's get into DJ. Question for you: what do you think highest to lowest is about?
So, the main character gets really high, and he goes down low.
That can mean so many different things. So I will say I won't say yes, but I won't also say no. You are kind of correct in a sense.
First of all, who's in it? Like you didn't even go into who's in it, who's directing it. Those are important
Yes,
before we even get into the plot.
great. I'm glad you made that correction. This movie
Like, come on, man.
stars Denzel Washington, the one, the only.
Okay, everybody knows. Yeah, You don't have to hype him with that. Come on.
I just said
Yeah. You're doing too much. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
Denzel Washington, directed by Spike Lee. He's a hater. You heard that, right? I'm not tripping. We gonna play this back. You heard that. I know y'all heard that.
Oh man.
Directed by Spike. He did that on purpose too.
Yeah, I did.
He did that.
Yeah,
He loves it. He loves getting a reaction. Directed by Spike Lee. Also, you have Jeffrey Wright.
The goat.
One
A
of
lot of goats.
and ASAP Rocky, which I was reminded because from my out of the theater thing, I said that this was like his first acting thing, but I forgot that he was in the movie Dope like over 10 years ago. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But
It
he's
was
a good.
long ago.
It was a while ago. But yeah, he's a good actor.
Isn't that Shamik?
That was Shamik. That was like the first time at least I had seen him on screen.
Low key, I'm glad he doesn't have the hairstyle no more.
That hairstyle was very dated to that time. I felt like he was kind of going for like a late '80s, early '90s sort of look. Anyway, highs to lowest. Yeah, stars. You know, some folks that we all know and love. But I feel like it's well, one, it actually is Denzel and Spike Lee's. It's their fifth time collaborating.
Yeah. he
But their
did
first
Malcolm
time-
X.
Yep.
I don't think that was. Was that the first time?
No, the first
Yeah.
one was Mo
Malcolm
Better
X.
Blues, then
Gotcha.
Malcolm X, then He Got Game.
Where did I hear about Mo Better Blues? Was it from
Oh.
Sinners?
I don't know, maybe me. I don't know. I feel like I've talked about it.
Did
a few
you?
times. Yeah, I don't know. I do talk about it, but I don't know if I talked
I
about it.
heard.
with you.
I heard about this year. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a recent film, and that
So-
was throwing me off. I didn't know. What year was that?
1990. I want to say.
Okay.
But it was that movie does have a very important music is a very important element into Mo Better Blues. So I think maybe because music is very important to Sinners as well.
Yeah.
The title Blues, so maybe that's why there's some sort of
Yeah.
maybe mental connection there. But yeah, that was their first collaboration.
Okay.
Then Malcolm X, He Got Game,
Yeah.
Inside Man. Now, this is their first time in almost 20 years that they
Yeah.
collaborated,
Yeah.
which is cool in a
He
sense.
directed Inside Man.
Spike Lee did, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
See, now you're like, wait a minute, maybe I've been hating a little too much.
I don't hate. That's still the truth.
Roll the tape.
You either love it or
Roll the
hate it.
tape.
Hate it or love it, I tell the truth. No matter what.
That's what haters always say. Anyway,
The biggest
movie.
hater right here. You know.
So we got who it's starring.
Yeah. Directing.
Who's directed. It's got some other musical acts as well in some acting roles, but we ain't gotta get there right now.
Again, no spoilers. See, he's already.
That's
already
how is
doing
that a
it.
spoiler?
Already doing it. The people, you know,
They're in
in
the
it.
they're in the credits.
there might be, yeah, you know,
In this,
the less they know, the better.
some of them are even in the trailers. Anywho, what do you think this movie is about?
You already asked me that. You do.
Yeah, I'm going back to that though.
I answered it.
Correct. You did. So.
or you can just say it.
So, yeah. I've been kind of stumbling. So this movie is you have a very successful music mogul. Well, first, even taking a step further back, this is for highest to lowest. It's adapted from the Akira Kurosawa film titled High to Low, which came out way back in the 1950s. It's considered one of the greatest films that he's made, and because he's considered like one of the all-time great filmmakers. and some people even consider it one of the greatest films of all time. I know it's a foreign film, so a lot of Americans haven't seen it, but it is considered like an all-time great film. I happen to have seen it probably a little over a year ago. It really was great. I do feel like there was a lot to digest, so I feel like it was definitely one of those like, oh man, I need to rewatch this and like really, really focus on everything. But um, when I heard that they were doing a reinterpretation, that's what Spike Lee calls it. I was definitely really interested because of how it's how it's set in a modern context and set in New York. Um, how structurally it's the same, but um, visually very very different. Um, so
So it's still the same movie, but just structured differently.
not the same movie, but kind of like
Same gist.
same. I would say sort of like how I don't know if you remember like in the '90s and even like 2000s, there were like all these um, either high school comedies that were basically um, reinterpretations of like old Shakespeare novels. So
Mm.
you have like Clueless, or no, not Clueless. Dang, I'm mixing them up. But there are certain movies like, okay, this is not a romance, but like or romantic comedy, but like Lion King, how people say like, oh, that's just Hamlet, or Lion King
Right.
2, that's basically Romeo and Juliet. These aren't like the best
Yeah.
one to ones, but it's like how they take the same structure and bones from previous stories and make it their own word. This is more of a direct reinterpretation um, of that story. But even High and Low, that was adapted from a book. I forgot the name, but I've heard it several times. But
Okay.
yeah, not trying to remember. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist. What was your question again?
What is it about?
Oh yes, so it is about a music mogul, um, and he's very successful. But he's kind of on like the latter half of his career. It's set in the modern day, but he's like this guy, particular guy. He had a lot of success in like the early 2000s, and he's still fairly successful. But he's at a point in his career where there's other labels coming up and trying to kind of like buy them out in a sense. But essentially, um, he's trying to make some professional moves to kind of like push himself forward, and something well, he's also a family man, and so something happens, and essentially he needs to rescue someone very close to him, and things kind of go awry, and there's some twists, and you end up, I guess, you realize like, oh, it's very much this like moral dilemma that comes into play because it's like, oh, he thought it was one thing, and he was like, oh man, I'm willing to, give everything, and then now he's like, oh wait a minute, oh now I got to reconsider because now the circumstances are a bit different, and I was gonna, make all use all this to, propel my career, and was trying to, move these certain chess pieces, but now it's like, oh wait, now I got to really consider what I was initially about to do. And I just think from like a um, I guess the standpoint of like somebody who's in a lot of who has like a lot of power and influence, it's interesting for me to see him start off at kind of like this high place and then this like almost to this very desperate place as the movie progresses. Um, that's kind of the gist. It's hard. It's really hard to talk about without spoiling, especially because it's like a thriller. but it's also it is a thriller in a sense, but it also there's like a lot. It has a very musical element to it, which is funny. You mentioned Sinners as well. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the main the big picture. He's like this this music mogul who has this like thing happen to him and his family.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Um, what else like do you want to know as far as like
So, what did you think about the performances?
hmm good question. So one I feel like I mean Denzel's always great, but it's I felt like initially it felt like he was kind of coasting in a sense, not like definitely not doing um, a bad job by any means. I thought he was great, but it was like I was kind of like waiting for it to like okay, I'm waiting for that gut punch in a sense. But then as it progresses, and it's like oh man, you really see like the layers peel back, and you're like because he's like very seems very likable and charming at first, but then you're like I'm not sure how if this guy is actually like that great of a person, you know? And I feel like you need that dynamic at times um, with characters, especially like you want complex characters. So I do feel like he portrayed that very well. Jeffrey Wright, honestly, might have been the strongest performance to me with his character. Him, and Denzel's characters, they're like essentially best friends, and it's interesting to see that dynamic because he's somebody who comes from like so much. Well, I won't even say he comes from so much, but he's Denzel's character, David King. He has so much, but then uh, Jeffrey Wright's character, he's doing pretty well for himself. But I think it's because of you can tell it's like because of his connection to Denzel's character, and then their two their so Jeffrey Wright has a son and Denzel has a son, and their sons are basically like really close friends, and that's something that very is very important into the plot. Um, then you have ASAP Rocky, who I feel like has um, I heard he had a really good performance, and even Denzel praised his performance, but he really did have a strong performance, and he wasn't even um, he doesn't have like the most screen time, but I feel like he makes the most out of what you do see, in my opinion. So
Gotcha.
that's what I would say as far as like the three. Those are probably like the three main performances in the movie that stand out. And you have some other like cameos and small things here,
Yeah.
but um, yeah, I thought it was. I thought overall
How do you
pretty good.
feel ranking this with the other Spike Lee movies?
Very challenging because I've seen probably a little more than half of his movies. Um, but I think like most, if not all, well, I feel like I like most of the ones that I've seen. Some of them are a little more complicated for me, but um, it is hard because it is so fresh. Whereas like you have other movies that have been around for 30 plus years, for almost 40 years at this point, and so it's difficult. I would say I I would probably put it somewhere in the middle for right now at least. Um,
What do you think makes Spike Lee as a director so successful?
hmm. I would say the um, he just has a certain point of view. I think that's very important as a director. Like when he first came out with like She Gotta Have It, School Days, and then Do the Right Thing. Those are like his first three major like feature films, and those are still movies that get talked about. And I think he just has this way of being able to like um, capture people, and it's like when you see his movies, you know it's him right away. Like he has certain signature things where it's like, oh, you know that's a Spike Lee movie, and I think that's true for a lot of directors. Like they have like their signature things. But also with Spike specifically, I feel like he just works really hard and he's very determined to see his vision through.
Gotcha.
Excuse me. So yeah, that's kind of why I think he's been successful because he's been doing it for almost 40 years and he has I think over 20 movies made. So yeah,
So, okay, so I don't really got anything else.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, what would you rate it?
it's a tough question. I was going back and forth with myself. I would say like four, maybe 4.5. I'm feeling generous. I definitely need to see it again. Um, there are some, it actually has gotten some mixed reviews, which I was surprised by. Like, there's certain movies where I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm very biased towards certain things. Whereas, like, I, I can, if I look really hard, I can see certain flaws. And now I'm not saying it's perfect by any means. Um, it's hard to make a perfect movie, but I feel like some of the like what people are have like I guess major issues with, I feel like are like more so nitpicks in a sense. Even though there are certain things where I'm like, man, if I thought about this, like they could have overcame this easily if they had just done this or if they had just did this. But it's like I feel like for a lot of movies, they kind of that is kind of true for certain things. Like, oh, if this character had just done this, they could have avoided all of this. And it's like, well, yeah, certain things have to happen for the plot to move forward. But I am interested to like see more reviews come in and see more things happen. Um, so yeah, I would say go see it for yourself. I know it's for people, Apple TV. It'll be on there in a little while, or maybe by the time y'all see this, it'll be on there. But yes, I would say definitely go see it if you got a theater near you. I feel like it's definitely a good movie to see in in the big screen.
Cool, 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 cool. Well, that is all I got. So what else can you say about the film before we sign off?
Um, yes, the music very very important. Something I should have mentioned earlier. It does start off like pacing wise. I do. This is a recurring thing that people have been saying, and I did feel this as well. That it does start off a little slow, but the second half it definitely picks up pacing, and I feel like for people that struggle with the first half, they will like the second half of the movie a lot more. Um, but yeah, there's some really cool set pieces in the second half of the movie, and I do like the way was shot as well. So yeah, that's basically all I got.
Okay.
Without rambling too much.
So that is all we got for highest to lowest. Go check it out if you hadn't already. Um, Follow us on all our socials and like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, your dog, all that good stuff. Um, and let us know in the comments what did you think about highest to lowest, your favorite Spike Lee movie, favorite Denzel movie.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Um,
and yeah, what were we gonna say?
yeah. Oh, in addition to that, I would want to know how y'all would rank the Spike Lee and Denzel collaborations. I
Gotcha.
think that'd be really really cool for y'all to do.
And then yeah, and let us know what other movies you want us to see. So we'll catch you back here with another one next time. All right,
All right, y'all.
later.